eighth graders. Today we are going to be talking about simplifying expressions. You guys are getting ready to prepare for 8.3b, which says I can solve multi-step equations. And in order to do equations, you must first understand how equations work, but also what like terms are and what unlike terms are. So on the screen, what you see is a worksheet ready for you to fill out. With this worksheet, I have some terms on the side of this worksheet that you can just add to fill in those blanks. So there are some symbols and some terms that you will see that you can just add to fill out the blanks. So let's begin. Expressions. An expression is a mathematical phrase that may contain numbers, variables, and or operators like addition and subtraction. So we're going to look at our first one. Okay, 5x plus 17 minus ly. As you look at this expression, we call it expression because there's no equal sign and we're not solving, but we're simply simplifying. We look at this expression and we see that there are some terms. Now, a term is separated by an addition and a subtraction sign, guys. So we see our addition, we see our subtraction. So that means that 5x is a term, 17 is a term, and 11y is a term. So there are three terms here, okay? There are also variables. Remember, variables are the letters that we use for unknown amounts or unknown quantities. So the variables in this expression is x, and there's also a y. There's also something called coefficients. Remember that a coefficient simply is the number in front of the variable. So we have 5 and we also have 11. Those numbers tell us how many variables we have. So for example, we have 5 x's. We also have 11 y's. It also tells us to multiply. So the 5 we're multiplying by whatever x will be, and 11 we're multiplying by whatever y will be. Then last but not least, we have just our numbers, our rational numbers here. And those are called the constants. So 17 is a rational number. Okay, I've done one. Now I want you to do one with me. Okay, on the right side, we have negative 2.5y minus 8 plus z plus 9. So as we look, we know that terms are separated by the addition and subtraction symbols. So I'm going to circle the terms. Okay, what else am I missing? That's right, z and 9. So there are 4 terms here. Okay, what about variables? What variables do you see in this problem? I'm going to erase so that you're able to see clearly. Okay, what you should write is y and z. Those are the 2 variables. Then we have coefficients. Okay, our first coefficient is negative 2.5. That's the first coefficient. The second is 1. Miss Green, I don't see 1. That's exactly right. When you have the letter Z in front of it, you can safely assume that there is 1 because we've got to be multiplying by something. So there is 1Z. So coefficients here are negative 2.5 and 1. And then last but not least, once again, the constants. The constants are just your rational numbers. So 8 and 9. Okay, those are your constants. All right, let's keep going. It says like terms have both the same blank or variable and the same blank or power. Okay, I'm not going to say those. We're going to practice, and I bet you can figure that out as we go. So let's look. Terms, like or unlike, and then it says explain. We're going to classify each pair of terms as like or unlike. Explain your reasoning in the last column. All right, so we have negative 3c and 5c squared. So is it a term that is like or unlike? Okay, this term is unlike. Let me explain why. It is unlike because c and c squared are not the same variables. We're not doing the same with both of those. C is just c. C squared means that I'm multiplying c times itself. So this is an unlike term because it does not have the same variable. Okay, it also does not have the same exponent either. All right, let's look at the second one. 1/4 and 20. 1/4 and 20 is going to be a like term. Although it is a fraction, it is still a rational number. We would call this a constant if it was in a word problem. All right, and 20 is a number as well. So we can combine those numbers. Okay, let's look at the third one. 8.5x and 8.5y. 8.5 is the same, however, those variables are not. So because the variables are not, this is an unlike term. We cannot combine those. Then last but not least, we have 100p and negative p. Okay, these are called like terms. All right, the numbers in front, the coefficients are not the same, and they don't have to be, but the variables do have to be the same. All right, hope that helps, and I hope to help you to fill in that blank. All right, one more sheet. Let's go over it. Okay, on the back, or the second page, we want to understand how to simplify expressions. So, expressions do not contain equal signs, and I talked about this earlier. Therefore, they cannot be solved. However, expressions can be blank by blank like terms. Okay, so we can combine them by the same like terms. So let's look at number 1. If we look at number 1, we're going to see that we have some like terms. X and minus 2x is a like term. Okay, 3 and 5 are like terms. So those are the things that we're going to combine. So if we look at our picture, we have algebra tiles. And the algebra tiles, we have a positive x and 2 negative x's. I know that I can have a zero pair by combining a positive and a negative. That's going to leave me with a negative x. Okay. Then on the right side with our constants, I have a -1, +1, that gives me 0, -1, +1, that gives me a zero pair, -1, +1, another zero pair, leaving me with +2. Okay, so all I did was combine. I didn't solve for x. I don't know what x is worth. All I did was simplify. You are going to do this today. You're going to do problems 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So you've got even problems to take care of. Anything you have issues with, please let me know. Number 10 is asking for the perimeter. So remember, when we find perimeter, we do length plus width plus length plus width. So that means that all the expressions you see, you're going to have to add, okay? So take your time, do the work, and we will go over it. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.